Good evening, everyone. We are going to start in 2 to 3 minutes. Okay. Till then, let others also join. Okay. Hello. Good evening, everyone. Now let's start the session. So wait, let me share my screen first. Okay. So we were learning about React and we have seen some basic concept in the yesterday session, like what is React, how it works, what is functional component, what is class component, and actually what is a component. We start everything from basic yesterday. Today we are going to continue with the class component, which we have already seen in yesterday's session a bit. So let me just go to that section. Yeah, in this we have covered about like how to create a component. Class component will start with like this keyword class having the name of that component. It must start from a capital letter. Then it will use react.component, so it is extending using this extends keyword to just inherit the property of that react.component file. Okay, so for this we were importing like import React from React also. That was we were doing in yesterday's session. Then we have already seen about how this constructor will work whenever we are initializing our component, or whenever we are going to render it, it will call this constructor at first, and this is how you will state the you will initialize the initial state to any particular attribute. Okay, this is we have covered. Just recapping that, then we have a proper knowledge of props now, but also in the upcoming session, we are going to upcoming segment, we are going to see that how this props work. Okay, so don't worry about it if someone have not got it properly in yesterday's session. Now, after this, what we have to do, we have to see like how we are going to use props in constructor. So now I am going to actually start with this component in files. We have already executing components in a particular file. Like here, they were using vehicle.jsx. So let me just open my VS Code. Right now, I'm recapping just what we have done. Okay. So as you can see in this source folder, we have created a component folder, and inside this there is my car.jsx where we are writing our all components code. Okay, so is what we have already done. Just a moment. Okay, So now let's start with that how to creating the state object, like how you are going to actually define a particular state to a particular object. So first of all, there is a bit of code. I am going to explain that from scratch. Then we will see the modified version of this code, which will actually illustrate all the concept related to this. So first of all, in this first line, what is happening over here? Everyone is familiar with this. Like first of all, it is a class component and the component name is car. Okay. It is just a minute. Just a minute, guys. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Like we were seeing that how this dot state is used to append an initial state to your particular field. Okay, like here, what is happening? First of all, whenever you are calling this car component, it will actually call your constructor at first. This is the first thing which will happen when you are going to initialize a element into the DOM. Okay, so this constructor will get called. Now it is taking a prop as an argument. Like this prop is going to use, we are going to use whenever we are going to call our car component. Okay. Then what it is doing, that it is using this dot state, which is helping to initialize the initial state of a particular attribute. Like here, they are setting the state of brand to Ford. Okay. And in this, they are returning it like, hi, my car. Okay. And they are not using this state. So this is actually not a good example. Uh, we are going to run an example where this state is actually come in use. So let's see where it is. Like here, see what is happening. First of all, here they are defining a particular state for a single attribute, like for brand only. Now, if I want to actually initialize the state of a particular object, this is known as object, as you all are familiar with this key value attribute. Okay, so whenever there is something which is in pair of key and value, then it is known as object in JavaScript. Okay, so here what is happening, they are initializing the value of brand as Ford. Okay, model as Mustang, color as red, and year as 1964. Okay, so this is what they are doing. Now see, if they will write some code like this, like hi, my H1, my car, after that, this dot state dot model. Okay, like this dot state dot model, then it will actually provide us the value Mustang. So here they are again not using these values. They are just showing us that how you are going to initialize the state of a particular object. Okay. Now in this example, yes, in this example, we are going to see and we are going to execute this on VS Code, that how the things are working under the hood. So first of all, see, this is creating a class component having name car. This line is going to initialize the values, the keys with their values. Like here, the brand will be set it to, just a second. Yeah. Here, the brand is actually set it to value Ford, model to Mustang, color to red, and year to 1964. Okay. Now see here in the return section, when after the constructor, the render function will going to execute, it will render all this thing to the web page. So what will happen? First of all, this will execute h1 tag my this dot state dot brand. Now this will evaluate it first. Like it will check that what is this dot state. There the field is brand and what is the value of this portion. So it will answer accordingly and provide the value Ford. So we will get here my Ford. Then in paragraph tag, it is a this dot state dot color, means they are targeting this color value, which is red. So my Ford, it is a red, then model value over here, which is Mustang, and from year, which is 1964. So this is how we can do this. Okay. So let's try to execute this code on our VS Code, then it will be more clear. So first of all, let me just, yeah, here it is. So in the component section, what I am going to do, I will just paste this code over here. Now, which thing we have to remind that first of all, if we are using React.component, that the React library should be imported here. Then if there is some class component, then we have to also export it so that we can use it in our another file. So for that, I am going to use like car because our component name is car. Now this is sorted. What we are going to do in app.jsx, we are going to import car here and going to use it directly. And let's see that what output we are getting. Here, what I have to do, I have to just change this name to car. Okay. Now let's try to execute it. So first of all, I am inside my React learning folder. Means I am inside this folder. So first of all, I have to go inside my test folder. For that, I am going to use change directory cd space test. This cd means change directory. Now, if I am inside my test directory, so here from here, I can start my server npm run dev, which actually host my server on localhost colon 5173. Okay. So as you can see here, like HTTP localhost 5173 is where my site is hosted. So let's try to see the output. Are you able to see? Welcome to React class is coming. Then after that, my Ford, it is a red Mustang from 1964. Why this red Mustang 1964? From where it is coming? It is actually coming from our this car.jsx, where I am using this code. Like here, I am initializing their state. And whenever I am calling this dot state dot that particular key, it is providing me the value of it. Quite simple. And I think it is understandable to you. So just let me know with the output in the chat box. Now, all of you are familiar with how to share the output in the chat box. So just do that. And if someone is not able to understand that how we are doing this, then they can ask. Just raise your hand and I am going to explain it one more time. Okay. Or let me, okay. Yes, Vishal. What about others? Only Vishal is raising his hand. Okay. So let me just, okay. Hasini. Okay. Okay. So let me just recap you guys that what we have done. Till this we have covered in the upcoming session, like here, we have seen that how to create a file for our component, okay, and how to execute it so that we have to export it, import it into other file. Now, what today we are doing, that today we are going to see that through this dot state, how you can just create a object and assign some value to you. And whenever user want to use this state by their keys, then the value should be output to our web page. So for this, we are doing this example, a proper example where everything is covered. So for this, see, first of all, here you are actually creating a class component having name car, and it is inheriting the you can say properties of your React.component, React library. And this component is actually the inbuilt function over there to create your to actually create a particular component over there. Okay. Now this constructor will get called first. So in this constructor, what will happen that it is initializing the initial state. This dot state is used to initialize the initial state. We are going to see in the upcoming section that how you can change the state value from using a method set state. Okay, so it will be coming in upcoming slides. But for now, just see here what is happening. Like you have creating an object in JavaScript, and that object is defining your key value attributes like brand as Ford. Okay, after this model as Mustang, color red, and year 1964. I guess it is clear. Then see, whatever you have defined here, the initial states, we are just going to render them on our website. So this render function will get called. It will return a specific HTML part to me. Like first of all, H1, my this dot state dot brand. So see, this dot state, here it comes. Then it is actually targeting a particular key having name brand. Okay. So it will check that what is the value associated with brand. So for it is, so that's why we will get output I my, and for this section we will get for. Similarly, this dot state dot color, what it will provide us? Red color. This dot state dot model, what the model will be that Mustang, because everything is defined over here. Okay. And something, if you are accessing through this dot state dot something and it is not defined over here, so it will tell it is undefined. I guess it is clear now. So same thing we have executed in our VS code. Like here, the same code was there. Okay. And when we executed it, it is functioning. Yes. Now it is functioning well. Here you can see my Ford is coming, then red is coming, Mustang is coming, and 1964 is coming. So I guess it is clear now. Uh, yes, Vishal, what can I repeat? Okay, that's great. Okay, so just share the output in the chat box. Let me just paste the code over here. Okay, here is the code. So just try to execute it. Then we are going to move on next section over there. Okay, so just try to execute it, guys. And if someone is facing any error regarding this, then they can ask. Okay. Okay, so how many of you are trying it at your end? Let me just see the output. Okay, great, Vishal. What about others? He was still asking the doubt, and as you can see, he has already executed it. What about others who has understand it? Okay, great, Vivek. Nice. What about you, Sushmita, Akash, Dev, Mahalakshmi, Isha, Vatsal, Shraddha, Jayabrata, Manali? Okay, good, Isha. Okay. So those who are doing it, just paste the output in the chat box. Okay. Till then, we are just going to see what is upcoming. Yes. Now, changing the state of a object means what they are trying to say. Like, suppose if you have defined over here, like brand is Ford, but suppose at the runtime, I want to change the value. I don't want this brand to be Ford. I want it to be Audi. So for that, uh, okay, Akash, then no problem. You can watch the recording session also. And right now, just focus that what we are doing. Okay. Yes. So what will happen that you don't have the access right here to change the brand value like model or color or year. Any value you are not able to change until and unless you are going to use set state function. So we are going to learn about this set states function over here. Like see, this example we are going to cover. First, I am going to explain it to you here. Then we are going to run it. This is simply creating a car component over here. And then just a second. Okay, so here, first of all, we are creating our car component. Okay, then what we are doing, we are just creating a constructor which is setting the initial stage to like brand to Ford, model to Mustang, color to red, and year to 1964. This is the object, and they are just defining it. The well with proper value. Then this is the function. We are going to and the function is what it is doing. Change color is the name of function, and whenever user is going to call this function, it will just use this dot set state. Means whatever the state is actually set it at your end, just change that and set the state accordingly, which has provided as the you in the set state function. Like here the color is red, but when user actually call this change color function, then through this set state it can change the color to blue. Okay, and see what is happening here when you are calling this render function. First of all, my this dot state dot brand, so it will provide us for, then it is a this dot state dot color. So right now I will get a color red. Okay, because right now this function is not called. Okay, so it is not changing the color to blue. So for the first time, I will, for this line, I will get the color as red. Now this dot state dot model means provide the model name, which is Mustang, and then from this dot state dot year, so provide me the year of that particular brand. Now see, they are creating a button over here, and on clicking this button, what is happen? This dot change color means you are calling this change color function. Here it is change color function, and when you are just clicking this button, it will change the color from red to blue, and that will be we can see in our website. Okay, so let's see that how we are going to execute this code. Just a minute. Here it is. So let me paste it over here. Okay, so this is my car component actually, and here it is also car. So let's try to see it now, that how it is working. Okay, so are you able to see my Ford red Mustang from 1964? It is coming properly. Okay, but when I'm going to click this button change color, then just see the change over here. This red will change to blue according to us, because we are using set state function. So let's see. Okay, as I click the button, let me refresh it and show you again. When I'm going to click this button, this red will be rendered to blue. Okay, so this is how we have to do that. This is how this set state function will work. So just try to execute it at your end. And if there is any doubt regarding this, then I'm going to tell you. Okay, like this set state basically change the state of your initial state, which is set by you in your constructor using this dot state. Okay, so basically it is changing that. Like it is quite simple. Here the color is red, but when you use this set state function, this dot set state, it is basically changing the color over there. Whatever the color is initially, it is changing that, and that color will be rendered to your website accordingly. So just try to execute this code and give me 3 to 5 minutes. I have to join a meeting. Till then, everyone please execute these two codes. Like for those, like only Vishal, Vivek, and Isha has actually executed the first code. So please everyone execute both the codes. If there is any doubt, just put that in the chat box, and I am going to tell you about that in 3 to 5 minutes. Okay. So just wait till then and try to execute it at your end. Hello, sorry, students. Now let me check that how many of you have shared it. Okay, great, Shraddha. Great, Vishal. Okay, that's good. Vivek, great. Good, Ashwini. Good, Isha. Okay, that's nice that you have used this time to actually done the work. Okay, now we are going to start with the next section. Let me just share my screen. Okay. Okay. So we have covered this. Any doubt regarding this, that how this set state is actually working, like how we are actually changing our color? Okay. Good, Abhishek. Yes. So this set state is actually we are using to change the state color, which is in or color or any other field which we have set it in using our constructor. Okay. So this state which you have set it initially, you are just changing that in this. So I guess it is pretty simple. Now let's see what is life cycle of a component. See why we were actually using class component, because they have access to state and also they have the track to the life cycle of component. Now what is life cycle of component? How many phases are there? We are going to see this. First of all, in React, there are three life cycle of a component. First one is mounting, second one is updating, and third one is unmounting. Mounting means you are creating an array and inserting it into the document object model, means DOM. I have already tell you that what is DOM. So mounting is a phase where an element is inserted to that particular DOM. Then updating, the inserted element which is there in your DOM. Now you are going to change with in that, okay? Or you are going to update it. So that is known as updating. Then after that, there comes the third phase, which is unmounting. As the name is suggesting, it is opposite of mounting. In mounting, you are entering an element into the DOM. Now you are just going to delete that element from the DOM. So let's see one by one that how many different functions are there or in class components so that we can handle this life cycle of a component. First of all, let's talk about mounting. Mounting means putting element into the DOM. We have already seen it, document object model. Now React has four built-in function methods. Wait. Yes. Now they are saying that React has four built-in methods called in sequential manner. Wait. Okay. So these functions will actually called sequence wise. Like first, whenever there are four functions like this, first the constructor will get called. After that, the get derived state from prof will get called. Then render at third and component did mount at fourth. But right now, whenever we are writing our class component, we were only using render function over there. So that means all other three functions over there are actually optional functions. You can use it in your mounting phase or not, but they are part of it. But this render, whenever you are going to create your you can say component, you have to use this render function. This is must to use, otherwise all the three function except render are actually your optional function. So we are going to see one by one that how these functions are working, how this will get called in sequence, and about that. So constructor, everyone has the idea of this now, that in constructor we are going to initialize the initial state of a particular, you can say, field. The constructor method is called before anything else. When the component is initiated, as you can know that, wait, okay, good Manali. Yeah. So as you all know that when we call a constructor, whenever a new instance is created, the constructor will get called automatically. Similar thing happen in our React. Whenever a component is calling for its, whenever we are defining a component or rendering it in our app.jsx, it will call the constructor at first. What happens in constructor? These things will happen in a constructor. Like first of all, it will call your this dot state and which you use to initialize a current state or initialize a particular initial state to a particular key. Like here, I am defining my favorite color to red. This is done in constructor, means whenever before this render function, whenever you are going to create a component like header, whenever you are calling that header, it will call this constructor. So what this constructor will do, it will set the initial state. Okay, this part is done. After that, there was second function which is get derived state. But here, as you can see, get derived state is not there. So the pass will move to your render function. Okay, now it will check that render function, it is must function and it is there. So it will provide the output accordingly. Like my favorite color is, now as you know that constructor is actually executed for before the render function. So we can access this value like this dot state dot favorite color. That's why it is providing us red color, because constructor is actually called first whenever you are going to call a particular component. So this is what this function is doing. And this is pretty simple. We have already executed multiple codes related to this. Now, I guess we don't have to repeat it multiple times so that we can move further also. Okay. So I guess it is clear that how this is working. Like what we have learned? We have learned about constructor. In mounting phase, the first function is constructor. Now we are going to know about get derived state from props. See, don't go with the name like it is a, just a second. Yes. So see, get derived state from props. What does it mean? That the name is also suggesting that get the derived state means whatever user is sending you through prop, get me that derived state from prop. Okay. Now just try to understand this through code and it is quite easy. Okay. Let's move to this. Here it is. Get derived state from prop. Let's see about some theoretical portion, but the name is suggesting that what it's going to do. It will just take the prop, the value from prop, whatever you are defining at the component initialization time. Okay, so let's see. Yes, here the get derived states from props method is calling right before rendering. Okay, as it is at second number, so it will called before render. So before render, there are two functions which will get called. First constructor, then it passed the control to get derived state from prop, and then render. So whenever you are going to render something, before this, every time this render function will run, this get derived state from prop is going to run every time before this. Okay, just keep this thing in mind. Now see what is happening over here. Here it is. See what this is doing. This is, you are defining a constructor. Okay, what this constructor is going to do? It is just assigning a favorite color to red. Okay, quite easy, done. Then it will pass the control to your get derived state from prop. Now see what this is doing. It is taking the prop as an argument and state as argument and changing the favorite color. Here you can see the favorite color is red. Now it is returning as the favorite color as whatever the favorite color is sent by the user when they are calling the component or rendering the component. Are you able to see? Here they are actually sending the favorite color as yellow. So this is changed to yellow now. Right now, at first the color must be red, but constructor will pass the control to get derived state from props and it will derive the state from prop and accordingly append it to favorite color. Now see what is happening in render function. At last render function will get called. So my favorite color is this dot state dot favorite color. Now according to you, what color should be rendered at the output? Let me just know in the output box. Oh, sorry, chat box, sorry. Yes. So just in chat box, reply me that what color, because we are learning with concept. So I don't want you to just copy paste the code. We are going from basic. So let me just answer it that which color we are going to see over here. Is it red or is it yellow? Just let me know about that in the chat box. I'm not getting any response right now. It's not like that you have to give the correct answer only. Suppose if you don't know the answer, then let me know that you are not able to get it. Okay, this is the tab. Just let me know. That's why I say that with me, you can also scroll this at your end, okay? So that you can also get an idea about it. Just a minute, okay? Try to give me the answer. Hello. Yes. Okay. So I am getting the answer as red. But now let me tell you that what I was saying, like first of all, see what we are learning that first of all, this constructor will get called. Okay. So what this constructor will do, it will set the color to red. Now this function will get called and what it is doing, it is changing the color to props.favcall means take my color from the prop section. Okay. So when we are calling our header section, here we are defining the favcall value as yellow. So this yellow is now there. Okay. And when I am just doing this, my favorite color, then you can see over here the yellow is coming. So let's try to execute it in VS Code. Wait, then it will be more clear. Okay, that's great. It like first constructor will be called. So color is red, then prop. So you think yellow. Yes. Okay, okay. That's great that it is good that people are not following each other. Like some of them has said red, but after that few have tell yellow. So this show that they are answering honestly. So this is good, guys. Those who are saying red, that's great that you are not cheated anywhere. Okay, so let's now execute this code and see it. Wait, here I am just going to change the code a bit. Now my component name is header. So what I'm going to do, I am writing here header. Okay, and in app.jsx, we have to change it like HEADER. Then favcall was my prop name. I am going to assign it a value like purple. Suppose, okay, whatever I want to, I can do that. Okay, now what I have to do, I have to also write over here header. Okay, let's see the output now. Here it is. So my favorite color is purple. Are you able to see that whatever is passing, we are passing through this favcall prop, it is appended over here and we are getting the output accordingly. Okay. So that's why it is there like the function will execute in sequence. First of all, constructor, then get derived state, and then the render function. Okay, so I guess it is clear to you all that constructor has set it the color to red, but after that, get derived state will called, it changed the color to yellow, and then after that, render will call. So now render will see that what is the updated value or what is the current value. So it will be purple or yellow, whatever you are passing through favcall. I guess now it is clear. Just reply with yes or no in the chat box so I can get an idea about it. Till then, let me just paste the code over here. Okay, that's great. But this is good that actually everyone is trying to respond and they are doing it honestly. Now, this is clear. Now render function. Every program we are doing is through render function. It is not a optional function. It is a must function if you are in a mounting, you can say phase or life cycle of React. Now see what is happening here. Whatever you are going to write inside this render function, it will just come to your website. Quite simple. We are seeing it for a long time now. So I guess that you have the idea about it. Okay. So render is clear. So in mounting phase, what we have covered? Mounting phase, we have covered constructor. It will get first optional function, get derived state from prop. It is second function, also optional. Render is must function. Now we are going to see component did mount. Like what is this function? Component did mount. After rendering means after rendering, we are going to execute this. Okay. So let's see about it here. The component did mount is called after the component is rendered. Okay, as these functions are in sequential manner, so they are going to call after one after other. When render will get called, then component did mount actually works. This is when you run statement that require the component is already placed in DOM. This is actually what this line means, that you can perform this function only when you have something in your DOM. Okay, means you have rendered something to your web page, then only you can call this. As the function sequence is also saying us about this, that after render you can do this. Now see how we are doing working with this bit of code. Okay, so see, first of all, we are setting the initial color with red. Okay. Is it clear to you all that constructor is going to run first and it will set the color to red? Now, there is no get derived state from prop. Okay. Means it will not going to execute as it is optional. It will pass the command to render now. This render will get called, and what it will do? My favorite color is this dot state dot favorite color. Now this favorite color is actually you are defining through constructor. So right now it is red. Okay. So for this line, you will get the output as red. But what will happen now? This component did mount after render will get execute. What it is doing? It is using this set timeout function, which is a function which will execute after a particular interval of time or after the time whatever you have passed in nanosecond. So this 1000 nanosecond is actually 1 second. So after 1 second, this set timeout function is get called, and what it is doing? This dot set state. You all are familiar that what is set state function is going to do? It will change the current state. So this state will be changed by it from favorite color from red to yellow. So after once that how it is working, and everyone has to execute this code. Okay. Everything is clear here. Let me explain one more time that what is going to happen. First of all, constructor will get called. It is appending the current state of favorite color to red. Quite easy. Now, get derived state is not there. So the command will pass to render function. This render function is going to set the favorite to output the favorite color. Right now, as constructor is called, so it has the color red as the favorite color. So it will be here like my favorite color is red. But now this component did mount is called as fourth function or last function of mounting phase. What it is doing? It is using set state function to change the current state. And in the set state function, you are changing the color to yellow after 1 second. So what I am going to do here, instead of 1 second, I am changing this to 5 seconds so that it is a quite long time. Now see, wait on our Vite plus React setup. Let me refresh it at 5 seconds is happen. So it is already showing me yellow color. Let me refresh it. My favorite color is red. And when the 5 second will happen, like yes, and it is automatically changed to yellow. So are you able to see that how it is working? At fourth place, when this component did mount will get called, it will call this set timeout function, and after 5 seconds, using this set state, it is changing the color from red to yellow. Clear, everyone? Let me just copy it and paste it over here. Quite simple. What we were doing mounting phase. What is mounting? That you are going to insert an element into the DOM. Then next phase is constructor. Constructor is going to call at the first priority. Okay. Whatever it is going to initialize the initial state, it can do that. After that, we are going to call get derived state from prop. Then at third, we are going to call render function at for component did mount. So these four functions are going to execute sequence wise. Only one function is mandatory, which is render. Otherwise, all the three functions are, you can say, optional functions. Is it clear, everyone? If yes, then provide me the output in the chat box. Then we are going to start with updating phase. Okay, that's great. Okay, only I can see the response from Manali side. What about others? Is there any doubt, guys? Okay. Okay, so please provide the output in the chat box, because it let me know that how many of you are executing the code. Okay, so that's why I asked the output at your end. And sometimes when you are going to execute the problem, then you will face some error. So for that, I actually want it. Good Vivek, good Ashwini, great Shraddha. Okay, that's good. Now let's try to see the updating phase over here. Okay. So updating means that there is an element in your DOM. Now you want to update the functionality of that particular element. Okay. Like here, the next phase in life cycle is when a component is updated. A component is updated whenever there is a change in the state or prop. Means whenever you are going to change the state of a particular function or particular component or the prop of that component, then it will be updated. Okay, so there are some built-in functions over there in React or in class components that will call one by one in the same sequence, and only render is must over here. Otherwise, all the four are optional. Okay. React has 5 built-in methods that get calls in order when a component is updated. Means whenever you are going to update a component, React will call them one by one. Okay, good Manali, good Vishal. Okay. Now, see here. Let's see about this get derived state from prop. Now, all of you are familiar with it, that how we are going to, how this function is going to deal. It will actually put whatever is there as your prop when you are calling your component to the current state. Okay. So let's see about this example. Here you can see first constructor will get called. See, mounting, updating and unmounting. Whenever it is called, first you are going to start with mounting. So in mounting phase, constructor will get called. Then it will call get derived state from prop. Now this get derived state from prop, what it is doing? It is actually changing your color from red to whatever user has shared, yellow. Okay. Then there is one more function, change color. Like on clicking a button, this change color function will execute and it is changing the color to blue. Okay. Right now, what is happening? You are using get derived state. Okay. And also you are changing some color using set state. So let's see what is going to happen. First of all, render. My favorite color is this dot state dot favorite color. Everyone is clear with the output of this, that it will output me the yellow color over here. Now type button, we are creating a button, and on click this button, it is calling my change color. Okay, so this change color will get called when you are doing this. Okay, but see what will happen, that this change color is inside your render function. Means whenever you are going to click on this, the website is going to render again and again. Okay. And before rendering, what will happen? That this get derived state from prop will execute at multiple times. Like whenever you are calling this function again and again, this function will automatically get called if that is defined in the program of yours.
Okay, so same thing will happen. You are going to click this button again and again, but before rendering the color blue, it will see the color from this get derived state from prop, which is actually yellow. So no change will be there. So you will get to see only yellow color over there. Let me just try to execute it. Then I am going to again tell you that how the control is going. Okay, so here it is. Let me just change it. Okay. Uh, yes. Let me just first execute this function. Okay. Header is the name. Okay. Let's see over there. This. Wait, let me refresh it. Wait. I guess there is issue. Yeah, no issue. In my app.jsx, actually, I am passing the purple color. As you can see, when I am going to click this change color, nothing is happening. I am clicking it, but nothing is happening. So just try to execute this code at your end. Then I am going to again tell you that how it is working. So don't worry about that. If someone of you have not get the idea that how it is happening. Okay. I'm going to elaborate it one more time that how this is working. Sorry, this is my app.jsx. I have to provide you the car.jsx code. This is it. You can use it for your car.jsx. Okay. Just try to execute it and click the button. Try to see that is the color changing at your end or not. Then let me know. Okay. So till then, if you are executing it, let me tell you one more time that what is happening over here. See, first of all, this constructor will get called. Everyone is familiar with this now. What will happen? This will set the favorite color to red. Okay. Clear? Now it will pass the command to get derived state from prof. Okay. And this get derived state from prof actually set your color according to what you have sent in your app.jsx. Like here, I am sending it the purple color. So it has now changed the color to purple from red. Clear? This bit of code, I guess, is clear to now all of you. Now come to this render function because this will come at third place. What it is doing, my favorite color is this dot state dot favorite color. Now, as you all have the idea about it, that now the favorite color is purple. So it is rendering us the output accordingly. Now you are creating a button. Okay, button is there. On clicking this button, you are calling your this dot change color function. Okay, so let's see what is this change color function is doing. It is using set state. Okay, we have learned that set state is used to change the color current state. Okay, so it is changing the favorite color to blue. So according to us, what should happen that when we are going to click on this button, it will basically change my color from purple to blue. But this is not going to happen. The reason is when you are clicking this button means the render will execute one more time. Okay. And when this render is going to execute, it will call its previous functions one more time. Like get derived state will get called one more time when before this render function. So it is again changing the color. Suppose from here, if you have changed the color to blue, now the color is actually blue. But when the function will render before render, when this function will get called one more time, it will change the color from blue to this purple again. So that's why you are getting the output again and again purple, not blue. Okay. Now I guess it is clear. Okay, good, Manali. Are you able to understand that why we are getting purple color only? Here the set state color is not able to actually change the color because right now there is this function also, which is get derived state from prop. Earlier when we have using this set state function, there were no this function. Okay. So that's why it is able to change the color of the current state. But now as there is this function which is going to going to call before your render functional will get called. So it is changing the color purple again and again. So let me just know in the chat box that is it clear to you? And please let me also provide the output in the chat box. Only Manali and Vivek has shared their outputs. Okay, clear guys? Okay, good Abhishek. Okay, so let's see what is next there. Should component update? Okay, like we have done first function over here, which is get derived state from prof. Now the second function is should component update. Actually, this is a function which take the value in true and in Boolean formats, means true and false. Suppose if the should component update value is true, then it is going to render whatever you have updated to the site. Otherwise, it is not going to render the things which you have changed to your website. So let's see here. This is the example and we are going to discuss with it. Class header. Okay, we have created a class. It is calling the constructor at the top and this will get executed first. So it is changing the state for favorite color to red. Now what will happen? Constructor will see that is their get derived state from prop. As you can see, there is not that function. So it will call what? It will call this should component update function over here. Okay. Now see what this should component update will do. It is telling that right now it is false, mean it is not going to render any changes, whatever you are going to do. That's what it is going to do. You can return a Boolean value whether React should continue with rendering or not. The main function of this function is that it tells React to render the function or render the site or not. Okay, so right now it is false, means you don't want it to re-render. Now let's see what will happen. My favorite color is this dot state dot favorite color. Right now it is red, so we are getting red the output for it as per our dry run. Now you are creating a button. On click, this button is actually doing this, changing the color to blue. Okay, but as should component update is false, so what will happen? This render is not going to re-render again. Okay, so means that the button, whatever you are clicking, the effect of that button will not be there in your site. Okay, so you will only see my favorite color is red over there. Let's try to execute this. Wait, here it is. Let me just copy it over here. Things are quite simple. Just try to, in my app.jsx, I am going to, instead of, yeah, instead of passing the prop, I am going to give a normal header over here. Let's see the output now. My favorite color is red. Now see, I am going to click on this button. Nothing is happening. Why? Because you have tell the website through this should component mount that don't re-render it again. The color may not be changed because you are not rendering the website, re-rendering the website. So for re-rendering it again, what can I do? See, this is going to tell my React that to re-render or not. I am providing it as true. Okay, means I want the website to be re-render again. So let's see now if I'm going to click this change color. Yes, now this is clear. Means that you were restricting React to just re-render the site through the should component update method. Okay, and when you have passed the value as true, then you can see we can change the value from red to blue on clicking this button. Clear everyone? This is it. We paste the code. This is it. So should component update is actually a function which tell your website that is which tell React that the website will be rendered again or not. So if yes, then it will return the value as true. If no, then it will return the value as false. By default, the value is true. Okay. Now other function. Now you can see in the next function, the same thing they are doing, that just change the should component update value to true so that we can see the changes over there in the color. Now after this, the render function, quite clear that first constructor will get called, then the render function will get called. Okay. So I'm not going to repeat it one more time because we have seen about it render function quite a lot of time now. Just going to run it over here only. Like see what will happen. Calling a constructor, it is setting the color to red. Now, my favorite color, this dot favorite color means red is coming over here. Now you are clicking a button, creating a button, and on clicking it is changing the color to blue. So when I click this button, this color is changing to blue. Now you will tell that why in this case it is changing to blue. Because as you can see, there is not get derived state from prop function. So it is not going to call before this render function. And by default, component should mount have the value true. So means it is telling your React to re-render the website again with the updating color. So that's why you are able to see here the color blue. Clear? Just response with yes or no, because it is important that you can also get the concept. And if there is okay, good Vivek. What about others? Okay. Okay, that's great. Yes, Abhishek. Good, Manali. Okay, that's good that I am getting majority of yes over here. If there is someone other than these students who have some doubt, then they can just raise their hand and ask whatever problem they are facing. Okay, because I want everyone to be clear with this. Whatever we have covered till now, everyone have the idea for that. Now, after some
Sir,
time,
can you
after
please repeat
complete,
it again?
yes, Abhishek.
Can you please repeat it again? Actually, my network is not okay. Maybe that's why
Okay, okay.
there are some issues.
Okay, no problem. I'm going to repeat it again. See, what I was saying.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So here we were discussing about this render function. Now see, we all are familiar with mounting phase, that how it call first constructor, then get derived state from prop, then render, and after that at final component did mount. Okay. Then we were learning about updating method. Updating method, the first function is get derived state from prop. Second function is should component update, and third function is render. So we are talking about render function. Now see what is happen when this bit of code will execute, that how the flow will work. First of all, class header, it is calling the constructor, and constructor will set this color to red. Favorite color is red right now. Initial state is red. Okay, this is clear. Then it will search for get derived state. As you can see, there is no get derived state, so it will jump to render function. Okay, now this render function will do my favorite color is this dot state dot favorite color, means the favorite color is red for now, so it is red. This is clear. After this, they are creating a button, and on clicking this button, they are calling this change color function. Okay, so let's see what is happening in this change color function. This change color function is using this set state method. Why this set state method? Because only this through this we can change the initial state. Okay, this set state method is used to change the initial state which is set in your constructor. So it is changing the color to blue. Okay, so on clicking the button, the color should be changed to blue. This is what this code is doing. So whenever we are going to execute this code, wait, I have not executed it on my VS Code. So I'm going to execute it over here only. Like here. See, when I'm running this example, right now it is red. When I'm changing the color, it is changed to blue. Okay, so this is what I was saying. Now is it clear, Abhishek?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, no problem. If again, if you are facing a network issue, then no worry, you can check it on the recorded session. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So guys, now we are going to see the next phase over here, which is get snapshot before update. Quite simple. The name is suggesting get snapshot means like the past review of something. Okay. Before the updating something. Okay. Before updating something, get me the previous state of that particular function. So let's see what it is going to do. In this get snapshot before update method, you have the access to prop and state before the update. Means you have the values of your props and state before something is going to update. Okay. Meaning that they have like before the update, and after that it is going to update the value accordingly. It will be more clear actually when we are going to see this code. See this bit of code quite lengthy, but we are going to understand it very simple, in very simple way. See, first of all, constructor will get called. Okay. What it is going to do, it is just setting the favorite color to red. Clear? Then after this constructor, what will happen? It will search for get derived state from prop. That is not there. It will search from render function. Okay. So you are going to come over here in render function. And what is happening here? My favorite color is this dot state dot favorite color. Okay, but there are more options also, like get snapshot before update and component did update accordingly. So here what is going to happen? My favorite color is this dot state dot favorite color. So right now the favorite color is red. So we will get red as an output. Then it is calling the div having ID div1. Okay, so basically after render, this get snapshot with div1 will get called. What it is saying, that it has access to your previous prop and previous state. Document dot get element by ID div1. So wherever the ID is div1, just change that inner HTML to before the update the favorite color. Just a second. See, this get snapshot before update is a function which tell you that what was the color before updating the DOM. So it is saying before the update, the favorite color was previous state dot favorite color. Means whatever your previous state was, that favorite color was there. Similar thing. Now you are calling div2. Component did update. Component did update. We are seeing over here only. Okay. That was the, you can see here, the last function over there. This component did update in the updating phase. Okay. So we are going to see it over here in this example only. Here it is. Then at last this will get called. What it is doing? It is targeting an element with ID div2, okay, and then changing the inner HTML like the updated favorite color is this dot favorite color. Means the updated color is whatever the color is after the updation, means this yellow. Okay, so let's see that how the output is there. Like first of all, my favorite, see, I'm not going to give tell you it here. Let me just copy this and let's move to VS Code so that I can change the timing according to according to me. Okay, so here it is. Now see what I'm going to do, as 1 second is a quite low time, so I am changing it to 8 seconds. Okay, let's go to first the output. Right now, my favorite color is red. Why red? Because this is what we have set through constructor. Now it is changed to yellow, and after yellow you are getting two things. What are the two things? Before the update, the favorite color was red. Okay. As you know that before the color was updated to yellow, it was red first. And after the update, the color is yellow. So this is the work of get snapshot before update, that it will let you know the idea of the state which was previously there before updating, so that user can get an idea. Right now, see, you have the idea that you have changed the color from red to yellow. But as a user, if I am new to the code, then I won't be able to judge it from the output that how this color is yellow or red at the first state. So there we are going to use this before snapshot get up before update. Okay, so let me one more time tell you that what is happening here. See, constructor will get called first. Okay, red will be there in your favorite color. Then what will happen? It will search for get derived state from prop. It is not there. It will go jump to this render part. Okay, now after jumping to this render part, it will see that my favorite color is this dot state dot favorite color, which is red. Okay, so it has appended it to red. This output we were getting. After this, what will happen? Just a minute. Yeah. After this, what is going to happen? This get snapshot before update will get called. Okay. Or even before this component did mount will get called because this is in the mounting phase. So after 8 seconds, it is actually changing your color to yellow. And after the 8 seconds, these function is going to call like first get snapshot before update, then component did update. Okay, as the sequence is there already, you have known about it. Now see what has happened, that it will target the div1 with this ID and change its inner HTML to before the update color was, and then it is providing the previous color before updation. What was that? That was red. So previous state dot favorite color. Now previous state is actually referring to this color. Okay. So this was your previous color and the update favorite color is this dot state dot favorite color, means your uh, current state of the color, which is yellow. So you are getting it now. Okay, so this is what they are doing it, and we have already execute this code. Right? This is simple. Just you have to execute the function step by step. Okay, like first the mounting phase, then the updating phase, and you will able to get the output accordingly. You don't have to learn each things like how you are going to do it one by one, writing the code. The main focus should be how you are going to make knowledge of it. Like you have the idea about it, that how this get snapshot before update is working, how this component did mount is working, after which function it is going to call. Okay, these things you have to learn, because you can copy paste the code here. Okay, you can run it also at your end, but if you don't have the knowledge, then you will not able to present it to others. Okay, so that's why I want you to no, don't focus on the length of code, just focus on the each line, that why they have written this bit of code. If that is clear to you, then you are going to actually write the code at your end also. So just provide me the output in the chat box. Now, as you can see, this is covered here. You can see this section is covered, which is class. So we have learned about functional component. We have learned about class components. Okay. And now you have the idea. Now we are going to see that how we can overcome with the problem of our functional component, that they don't have the access to life cycles and state. So for that, this hook section is there. We are going to see about hook. Right now, actually, the time is done. So on Monday, we are going to learn about this hook. Like these three are important: React use state, React use state, use effect, and use context. So I don't want that it will be quite difficult for you to digest everything. So that's why I am taking time and explaining it to you to in a proper way. Okay. So let's see that how what we can do through props. Prop is like an argument to a function. Whenever you are calling your function or component, just pass that particular prop. Okay. So let me just know that are you able to understand about prop concept, or do we cover that also? Just let me know in the chat box. That is props clear to you? that how we what is prop, because we have seen prop a bit in the code part. Whenever we are executing it, whenever we need a prop, we are calling it. Okay, Vivek is saying yes. What about others? I want response from everyone, guys, because if someone of you is going to say no, then I will cover the topic also. Okay, so please put your whatever is going in your mind, put it here so that I can get the idea. I have already told you that it is a two-way conversation. Okay. So it's not about this like I am going to decide that what I'm going to teach only. It's also up to you that if something is not clear to you, then I am going to tell that also. Okay. Yes. Now I guess it is clear to you. And okay, good. Great. Now I am going to assign you the project for the week 2. Okay, so just a minute. Let me open that file. Let me share it to your group. Okay, great, Manali. I am sharing that file in your group. Okay, so that is your week 2 project. Just a second. Guys, I have shared the project list in your groups. Let me know if someone is not able to get that. Just check that. Is it there at your end? Then any one of you please share your screen and open that project file.
Should I share?
Yes, yes, Vivek, you can share your screen. Good. Yes, Vivek, your screen is visible. Okay, guys, as you can see, there are multiple projects over here. Just scroll down, Vivek. Okay, so you can see there are 30 projects, I guess. Everyone has to choose a particular project and complete it. Okay. Like, don't worry about it. Like here, the tech stack highlights are React, Redux, Node.js. You don't have to use all of this. You have to use HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React to create your project. Okay. Is it clear to everyone? Don't look at the stack. You have to use till React. Okay. Like you can see here, the tech stack is highlighted over there, but you don't have to use that because
Your voice is breaking, sir.
is it hello?
Yes, sir. Now clear.
Yes, I was saying that you have to use up to React. Okay. Like create the front end part for whatever project you are selecting. Okay. And make sure that your project must be different from others. So choose such project which is unique. Okay. And this is what which we have to do today. Like I have to assign the project at the end of the session. And I guess now it is clear to you. But as the time is left, I am going to, for 10 minutes, I am going to continue the session with the topics. So is there any doubt regarding projects to anyone? Just let me know. Otherwise, we are going to continue with React. Okay, thank you, Vivek. Now you can stop sharing your screen. Okay, so I guess my internet connection is slow because it is stuck at my end. Wait. So guys, I guess there is a internet issue at my end. So I guess we can wrap this session over here. Okay. Am I audible, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So let's wrap the session over here. We are going to connect on Monday. Please try to complete your project. Okay. And make sure that you can. Okay. Yes. So now I guess we can just wrap this session. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Be there on Monday at 6 p.m. sharp. I'm going to take the presentation. And those students who have not created their week one project, please do that also. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Abhishek. What about others? Is there any doubt, guys? Otherwise, you can leave the session. Vishal, Mahalakshmi, Harsh. If there is any doubt, you can ask.